What's going on YouTube? Today I have an updated settings video for you guys. My graphics settings, my controller settings, my audio settings. These are all the settings that got me to a 9.60 KD in Rebirth Island. I have had time over the years to perfect these settings ever since Warzone 1, man, when Verdansk came out. I'm telling you right now, bro, if you throw on these settings, you will be frying in the island. And at the very least, you will see an improvement in your gameplay, shot-wise, hearing-wise, across the board. So let's dive into them. Let's get it. Okay, guys, let's dive right in, man. I do use a controller. I use a PS4 controller with two pals in the back and a raised right thumbstick. I also use dome sticks. For tactical flip, that's going to allow me to shoot with my top triggers instead of the bottom. If you're playing on a PlayStation controller, definitely give this a try. Xbox controller wouldn't feel as good, in my opinion. The top bumpers are very clicky. But it's worth giving it a try if you have a PlayStation controller. I also dive and lay down and crouch my right analog stick due to the tactical part of the button layout. I use 2.60. I don't recommend playing on this high of a sensitivity. You definitely can if you want, if you do gravitate towards higher sensitivities. Having lower sensitivity is always going to allow for more steady aim, and I most likely would be a little bit better at the game if I did play on a lower sense. I've always played high sense, so it's my preference. This is where you swap the bottom with the top triggers. I don't play with controller vibration on. In my opinion, you should have this turned off at all times. For FPS games, it's going to not benefit you at all. If anything, it could screw up your aim. I don't really know anybody that uses this. For dead zone guys, I use 6, 75, and then 99. Copy these if you want. Dead zones are kind of personal preference. And on to the aiming settings, guys. I use instant and dynamic aim response curve with a 1 slope scale. This is pretty standard across most Warzone pros. Not to say I'm a Warzone pro, but obviously, you know, when I'm looking for the best settings, I'm looking at the pros. And I don't really know many pros that don't use dynamics. So I would definitely be using and copying all these settings. These are the custom zooms I use for my settings. Keep in mind, these ADS sensitivities are in conjunction with your base sensitivity. So, you know, since I use a 2.60, I have this much lower. So if you use a low sensitivity, you're going to need this much higher, etc. So make sure you don't copy these unless if you're going to copy my base sensitivity, which I just showed in the previous part of the video. And I have aim assist on, of course. And this setting right here, a lot of people think if you have this off, then these settings don't affect it. If you change these, it won't have changed anything because you have this off. This is not true, man. If you have this off, bro, these settings still matter, and you're gonna want this off right here, man. In my opinion, this does make the aim assist a bit stickier if you do have this turned off. So make sure you have this off 100%. On to movement settings, we have tactical sprint assist. This set to 0. This is gonna allow you to go right into a sprint very quickly. If you turn this all the way up, you will see a massive difference in how fast you're able to sprint. Mantle assist, I have this turned off. I don't want to be automatically mantling on things. Crouch assist, same thing. We have this turned off. We have hybrid on. This is going to allow you to dolphin dive very quickly instead of having slide only on where you can't dolphin dive at all, or having tap to dive on where there's a big delay. So hybrid, in my opinion, is the goated setting. Takes a bit to get used to. You're definitely going to die a lot while you're getting used to it, but it is worth it, I promise. I went through probably about 3 weeks of getting a lot of deaths, but I knew it would pay off, which it definitely did. On. We have this off, dude. You do not want this to pull super high up in the air and risk getting shot from people around the map. You want to go down as low as you can before you have to pull that shoot. Manual cancel reload, turn that off, dude. These are the movement advanced settings, guys. I find this makes your slide cancels a little bit smoother. Is it placebo? I have no idea, but just copy these. These are pretty general settings. And then for this as well. And then on to the combat. I'm not really going to go through these. These are things that you could copy. I don't think any of these are kind of, personal preference. I guess some of these would be. It depends on what you want for this. I do like the ADS melee for this, but this is kind of personal preference, these couple ones, and combat advanced settings. And at any point, if you guys, need to slow down the video or pause, obviously feel free to do that. I know I am moving through rather quickly, but make sure you copy these as well. This is going to allow you to pick up things very quickly, which is super important. Instead of holding down square, you can just press it and you're just picking up stuff, opening up crates. Definitely want to make sure you have that on. If you do not have that on, and these settings are kind of miscellaneous, don't really matter. On to the graphics settings. I do play on full screen borderless. Playing on full screen exclusive is probably a much better idea for performance. I do play on borderless just because it's more practical for streaming, opening up things on the screen when I'm streaming, stuff like that. But I would play on full screen exclusive if I didn't stream. And then these are all kind of personal preference, but you can copy these if you want. Got my brightness at 50. And just copy all these guys. These are all general settings that I've had optimized by my boy Reese that built my PC, and he's very in tune with PCs and how to optimize them and to get the maximum performance. So all these settings is just to maximize FPS, not necessarily to make the game look as good as possible, but FPS is more important than your game looking pretty in a multiplayer FPS game. So my settings are also kind of a middle ground between having nice graphics and having good FPS. You could even get more FPS, but you're going to be making your game look kind of terrible at that point. So slow down the video. Feel free to copy any of these guys. And on to our view settings. We got our FOV at 120, affected ADS. This is really important, man, for recoil. I get people that come on my stream all the time. Haters are like, dude, you have no recoil. You have no recoil. Well, you're probably not playing 120 FOV then, and you're probably not playing affected. Because if you change this to independent, you are going to have 1,700 bazillion times more recoil. I promise. I have this on wide. I just think it's more aesthetically pleasing. Takes up less of the screen as well, so less visual clutter on the screen. It's gonna allow you to see better. And motion blur, you want this off. Absolutely. You want this on 50%. You're going to have more recoil, more camera shake when you're getting shot at and shooting if you have this on 100. And then, again, just copy these if you'd like. On to the audio. Again, this can be personal preference. It's going to be depending on your mix amp and the headset that you use. Feel free to copy these if you'd like. And yeah, I don't think there's too much to touch on in here. I do find Sucker Punch is the best and the most consistent for footsteps. So give this a try if you have not. My audio guide told me to take this off. I think it's better on, but if you have it off, maybe try it on. If you have it on, try it off. See what you think. And then I don't think I have these changed. I have this off and I have this on classic. Voice chat settings, these are all personal preference. Interface settings, I don't think I have much changed on this side of things. But feel free to copy these and slow down the video at any point if you need. This is the crosshair I use. So guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you learned any new settings, man, make sure you drop a comment down below. Let me know what you learned from the video. A lot of it is pretty general. I'm sure most of you guys know, but I've been playing Warzone for a really long time, and that's given me a lot of time to fine tune my settings. So hopefully this does help you guys out, and I hope it got to y'all slaying in the island. I will see you guys in the next video. And if you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like and a sub. Peace out.